How can you move to Spain? Is it more difficult for expats now?
Brexit!
How do I get residency, sweetie? Stick around and you'll find out. Welcome to YouTooSpain. Hi, I'm Skatz.
Hello.
Kiwi.
Bah!
And I'm going to take you through the ways you can move to Spain.
What makes you such a smarty pants, clever clogs and know-it-all?
That's my official title. I've been interviewing experts on the live show on everything to do with moving to Spain for over 3 years now, and they regularly report from the front line of immigration with the latest updates. So I've picked up lots of excellent information on the way. You know what they say, if you throw enough bureaucracy, one day some of it will stick. Exactly, Walter. And don't forget, sweetie, you always check the official government websites, even the ones that are hard to take in.
Bah!
And I am a bit anal with information.
Naughty boy.
Bah! So what's the first thing I need to know? That I love you, darling. Oh, that's lovely. But the first and most important question to ask yourself is this. What passport do you or your spouse hold?
British, of course. Rule Britannia.
I've got one of them too, but it still says EU on it. I like my passports like I like my men. Shiny and black.
They are blue.
Not when I'm finished with them, they're not. Unfortunately, since Brexit, the whole of the UK is no longer a part of the EU, even if you still have the old passport. And that means you no longer have freedom to live and work in the EU. Unless you were already living there when Brexit happened, or you've suddenly found out you've got a parent or grandparent who's Irish and you can get an Irish passport. Or haven't got one of them. Does that mean I can't live in Spain anymore?
I can live anywhere. I'm British.
No, Colonel. Britain stopped invading everywhere and planting flags years ago, thank goodness. Now, if you want to march into an EU country like Spain without an army, you need a visa. What kind of visa? It depends.
On what?
Lots of things, because there are different visas for different purposes and everyone has different circumstances. Well, give us a clue, sweetie. Where do we start? Okay, first of all, check whether you also need a Schengen visa to get into the zone. How do we know that? There are 64 countries whose citizens have a Schengen visa waiver, including the UK, so they don't need to apply for that visa. I've put a link down below so you can check.
They're all foreigners.
Everyone's a foreigner somewhere, darling, but they're all welcome in my casa. Once you've found out about the Schengen visa, the next thing you need to decide is whether you want to work in Spain or not. I want to retire and drink wine by the beach. Then the perfect visa for you is the non-lucrative visa. Some people call it the retirement visa because it was designed for people who don't work anymore. Sounds like my cup of vino. How do I apply for that? Now that's a question that needs a whole other video to answer. Ask me in the comments and I'll give you the link to the best video on this channel for you, because each applicant can have different circumstances and there's quite a lot to know. Oh, go on. Tell us a little bit about the visa to whet my appetite. Okay, here are the main things you need for the non-lucrative visa. An ACRO criminal records check or the equivalent in your country. Marriage and birth certificates if you're bringing a spouse and children, medical insurance cover, and proof of your savings and or passive income to cover the financial requirement. And remember, all official documents that aren't in Spanish need apostilling and translating. Oh, I've got so many questions. You could ask those to our visa expert on the Saturday morning live shows. Oh, how exciting.
I demand answers.
Calm down, Colonel. The answers are all here on YouTooSpain, and I'm here to help you find them. Do you know what? I could sell some of my paintings while I'm drinking by the beach. Not if you're here on the non-lucrative visa. You're not supposed to be working and earning money on that one. Oh, I'd hardly call it working, sweetie. Maybe you wouldn't, but the taxman would, and so would the immigration officers when you renew your visa and they check your bank statements.
They'll never catch me.
Well, obviously someone as subtle as you could hide under the radar for decades without being spotted.
Huh?
But it's best to live within the law. Oh, all right. But what if I want to work? Then there are several visas to choose from and several different ways to apply. Okay, what if I want to be an astronaut? Well, I don't know about astronaut, but there are some jobs you can get if you're highly qualified and skilled and the employer hasn't been able to find someone from inside the EU to fill the position. You can fill my position anytime.
Stop it!
What if I'm not very skilled? Then it's not so easy, especially if you're applying from outside of Spain through the consulate, because jobs in Spain have to be advertised to Spanish and EU citizens first. Then, if they've proved they can't find the right person, the company can offer you the post, sponsor you, and go through the process of applying for your work visa. And that's something they'd only be prepared to do if you're worth it. That doesn't sound very hopeful. Can you apply from inside Spain? Does that make it easier? As a matter of fact, you can, but only if you've already been a resident on another visa, like the non-lucrative visa, for more than a year. Then you can apply for any job. However, the company will still have to go through the process of applying for the working visa for you, which, as usual for Spain, isn't the easiest bureaucratic process to wade through. So, if you're thinking of trying for some bar work or some other low-paid work, it's unlikely your prospective employer would want to do that. What about setting up my own business? Then I can fill my own position.
Bah!
There is a self-employment visa, which you can apply for from outside of Spain at the consulate, or switch to it in Spain from the non-lucrative visa, say, after a year or more. Just like the working visa.
Sounds absolutely peachy, darling.
It can be, if you've got a very good business plan and have the qualifications or proven experience and finances to back you up, and it needs to be a business that benefits the local community and can potentially employ local people too.
So, if I start on the NLV and do all of my market research and business plan and set everything up, it's possible?
Absolutely. Another way it's possible is if you buy an existing profitable business. That makes your business plan much easier because you'll already have projections and proof of earnings from the previous owner, and you'll be hitting the ground running.
I don't hit the ground, I only hit my servants.
No, you don't, Colonel. You live in a hostel.
Are there any more visas I could get?
There are one or two, yes. There's the digital nomad visa for people who are already working remotely for companies outside of Spain.
Oh no, I don't like being remote. I prefer to be much more hands-on, sweetie.
Not on me! Not for £1 million!
Oh, thanks for reminding me, Colonel. There's also the golden visa.
I thought Spain had stopped that.
No, the visa is still available for investors. What Spain have said recently, though, is that they're planning on removing the property element of the visa. So if or when that happens, you won't be able to get the visa by buying property worth over €500,000.
Peanuts!
Let's leave your nuts out of this, darling.
Ah!
Are there any more visas?
Well, there's the family reunification visa, but that's basically for people already living in Spain to bring their spouses or children to live with them.
I see. Well, thank you for explaining all of the ins and outs. Oh, I love a bit of in and out.
Out!
If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments or on our Facebook page or group, or you can check out the blogs and information on our website,
YouTooSmile.com.
And there are more than 400 videos so far on this channel, so there's bound to be answers to your questions.
Wonderful.
That's all for now. Peace and love.
Peas and fluff. Everyone likes a bit of dick.
He's a witch!
See you in the next video.
Let's dance, sweetie.